Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. I'm Wendy Yorching of Healing Spaces Caribbean. I'm the founder of the Find Your Fire Tribe. That's a lovely tribe that offers Find Your Fire Fridays. And today we have our final Find Your Fire Friday session for 2021. So it's a very special occasion. And with me today, we have the amazing Laura Tiberio, who some of you already know, who is going to talk to us about self-care through the holidays, because you know we all need a little bit of that. So Laura, I'm going to hand over to you, and then we roll from there. You let us know if you'd like questions during or at the end. You tell everybody exactly what you'd like.
All right, thank you. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. This can always get a little tricky. So let's see how this goes. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, hello and welcome and thank you, Wendy and Christine as well. I just want to say hello to all of you, all of your beautiful guests and Find Your Fire Tribe. I am so grateful to also be here as well. And I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I am so blessed, overblessed to be here on this very last, this is December 2021. How did that happen, everyone? How did that happen? How did that happen? Right? How did that happen? So I'm bringing my love and light today. If anyone knows me, love and light is my thing. So I'm bringing these hearts to you, coming across all of the oceans and all of the land streams to all of you. So I just want to say thank you for having me. And I'd love to chat a little bit. Who wants to chat a little bit about self-care? I can see a few of your faces, most of your faces here, and I'm going to kind of be looking at the chat. Anyone who knows me knows that I love engaging and talking with people. So part of it's going to be a little bit of like me talking, and some of it's going to be me asking you questions and talking, because that's kind of how I roll. So before we get started, I would love to also let you all know that I am hailing from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, where I would like to respectively acknowledge the First Nations and Coast Salish peoples on whose unceded territories that I live, work, and play on. And I'd love for you to also acknowledge wherever you're coming from too, because where you're coming from represents who you are, and part of that is the essence of who you are, and what that plays a huge role, right, for each one of us, where we come from, our cultures, our lifestyle, our traditions. This is the time of traditions right now. We're in the holidays, right? So
Laura,
yes.
Laura, we have people, I'm just checking the chat. We have Alberta, Canada. We have Wisconsin. Yes. We have Tampa, Florida. We have Tobago by 2, I know that. And we have Manchester, UK. Nice. And I think so far that's everybody who's typed in.
Awesome. So let's bring everyone into that circle of love, right? Here's our love. Let's bring everyone into the circle of love. And by the way, I had a whole thing planned out for everyone. I had all these things. I'll get into it. I'm a naturopathic doctor, as some of you already know. But the biggest thing on my heart today is really just to love everybody up, which if you do know me, you know that this is my specialty. That's what I love to do. So before I jump in, I do want to get to, let's see if you can all see this next one. Will it work?
Anybody know where the lunch pails are?
Where the what is?
Oh, shoot.
Background. That's okay. That's okay, everyone. This is what happens in this world of Zoom, right? We have everything and anything to be coming into us. So I just want to, before we get started, to let you all know that my disclaimer for you all is that the information in this session that I'll be sharing with you is intended for educational purposes only, and not as a substitute for any diagnosis and or treatment of health conditions. Always consult with a healthcare practitioner before taking any medication, nutritional or herbal supplementation, or beginning a procedure or using a medical device, because I am a doctor. That's my disclaimer. I have to say that. So who am I? Well, this is me. I'm a naturopathic physician, a Chinese medicine practitioner and Qigong practitioner. I'm also a Canadian Red Cross training partner and instructor, a wellness coach, a mama, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a caregiver. Who's the caregivers out there? Anyone caregiver? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Lots of love to the caregivers, right? And we're all caregivers deep down, right? We all love and care. right? So, and I'm a nature lover, lover of people, and lifelong learner, like most of you are, or else you would not be here in this beautiful tribe. My wellness and life mission is to educate, inspire, and empower people. And I strive to be able to do that and share that every day with all of you. So let's get started. What is self-care, everyone? So what's self-care? Anyone?
Taking care of yourself.
That's right, Wendy. Taking care of myself, right? Myself. Myself. Who is myself? Who is myself? Anyone? Everyone's tired out there today. It's all right. Who's myself, right? Your identity, who you are, like we were saying before. Where do you come from? Where are you hailing from? What's your background? What's meaningful for you? What does that mean to you? And what does that mean for you right now in this time of this traditional time, this end of year time? What does that mean for you? Right? And I would like to say that the biggest part of that is that self-care is all about self-love. I'm looking for some nod. Yeah, I'm getting a nod from Nicole on that, right? Right? So who agrees that self-care ultimately is self-love? Bring in the hearts today, everyone. Bring in the love and light, right? Bring in the love and light. So self-care is self-love. Boom, done. We are done for the day, everyone. Self-care is self-love. But I'm going to go on because I can't help it. So, but we got it. Self-care is self-love. So many say that, for example, you have to start with the mindset. Mindset's really important. And while I do truly believe that mindset's really important, and it's really important for us, and especially because sometimes we get in our own way, right? Who gets in their own way? I get in my own way all the time. So we have to start with the mindset. Mindset's really important. And of course, we don't want to get in the way of our own greatness. But I would like to extend it out and say that if we don't start with heart, you won't mission on your vision. Does that resonate with anyone? If you don't start with heart, you're not going to fulfill your mission with your vision. What does that mean? That means that I know what God, the divine, the universe, creator, whatever you want to call it, I know that there's a greater power that exists and lives within me. Just like I truly believe and know for myself that there's also a divine purpose and plan for everyone on this planet. And so that starts with your heart. Because if you don't have your heart vision, you can't hold that vision and fulfill your destiny and purpose. And so for me, that's the most important thing when it comes to self-care and self-love. Because if we're not constantly reconnecting, reclaiming, acknowledging, building on that all the time, then we miss the mark on what's really important. And I know that everyone here can resonate with that because you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if you weren't a person that's constantly striving to help others, to share your love, to share your vision, to share your mission. So for me, especially the time during the holidays, right? Especially during the holidays when we can get overwhelmed, we're stressed out, right? What can be stressed out about? Maybe we're stressed out about the finances. It's end of year, right? Maybe that's really hard and heavy on our heart. Maybe it's our children, right? We really want the best for them and we love them, we care about them. Maybe it's also the people that we serve, our own tribes, right? We're created for greatness and we're created for a mission. We're here to help other people. And so, you know, when life has us down on our knees, please remember that your self-care and your self-love is the most important thing. Other than the divine loving you up because you were created for greatness, the most important person in your life who loves you is you. And if you're not caring for yourself, especially now through the holidays, this is a very transitional time, You know, we want to be able to hold that with that beautiful greatness, that delicate, beautiful, divine love, and to shower you with all of that, to shower each of us every day with all of that. So,
Laura,
yes.
we have a couple of comments. Sabrina had said self-care is taking care of oneself, which is viral. And Bridget says self-care is the new healthcare.
I love it.
I agree with that one for sure.
I agree with that one. I agree with both of those statements. And thank you for
Yes.
sharing. I love that. Say it again. It's too good to say once. Say it again for us, Wendy.
From Sabrina, self-care is taking care of oneself, which is viral. And
Yes.
from Bridget Riggs, self-care is the new healthcare. I think you could package that, Bridget, and sell it.
Perfect.
To the governments and the people who make all.
Self-care is the new healthcare, right? I love that. And
Yes.
actually, wouldn't that be amazing? You know, if everyone would just do one act of random kindness a day, what kind of amazing world would this be, right? If everyone did excellent self-care all the time, even just one day at a time, one moment at a time, one little thing at a time, that alone would take billions of dollars off of the healthcare systems, right? I'm from Canada. We have a socialized medicine, but it's kind of transitioning a little bit. It used to be a lot more socialized than it is now because we live adjacent to the United States. And I used to also live down there too, because I'm up north. So it's true. There's billions of dollars that is spent, right, on that. And we could actually empower ourselves and help everyone else. And like they say, and I do first aid. So if we don't put on our oxygen mask on, how can we help someone else? And we can't give what we don't have. So if I'm not showering myself with self-love every day, if you are not showering yourself and bathing in that beauty and love and goodness every day because you deserve it, and it's absolutely true and undeniable, then we cannot go out into the world and serve with all of our heart and all of our soul and all of our strength, which is, I believe, what we are built for. So, and of course, we want to remember that this is our time. We're saying goodbye to 2021 and we're saying hello to 2022. And for me, that means 2020 you. That means taking care of you. That means loving on you. That means doing the best for you so that you can go out and serve and do your best for others. And that's where it comes from. That's our starting place. So mindset is awesome, but if you're not going to start with your heart, you can't mission on your vision. And who has your vision? No one else but you. You and the divine have your vision and you get to hold it. So no one else can come in your way, right? Is there anyone else that wants to comment to that or share on that? I'm not sure what's in the chat because I can't see it right now, but
I'm watching the chat for you, Laura.
Fantastic. Wendy's got my back and my front and my sides and everywhere, right? And in fact, that's also what self-love is. Self-love is loving on yourself so that you can join in communion and connection with other people so that we can all help each other, because it always takes a village, right? The love is the air in between the village, right? Keeps everyone glued together. So when I have, let me jump ahead here. When I have, and I have asked hundreds of people, what does self-care mean to them? Some of the things that come up are, it means like a self-care recap is time management, relaxation, meditation, laughter, having fun, sleep. Who loves sleep? I'm loving sleep. Yeah, right? Yes. Thank you, everyone. I'm loving sleep. I'm loving that smile, Nicole. I'm seeing it. And Randall's like, yes, right? So sleep, being healthy, recovery. Ooh, I like that word. Ooh, I like recovery. What does that mean? That means I have fallen into something whereby I need to come out of it so I can step out in my health, right? That's good because there's some growth going on there, right? I'm loving that one. And then playing games. Someone's like, oh, I love to play games. I love to play games too. Because you know what? If we're not having fun, we can't learn. If we're not learning, we're not growing. If we're not growing, we're not giving. If we're not giving, we're not loving. It's all connected, right? So what are something else? So when I go on to ask people, I've polled people, what are the 3 top self-care challenges that people have? And let me know if this resonates with anyone. Not the number 1, these are 3, okay? These are 3 things. One of them is time and prioritizing for themselves. Okay, forgetting to do self-care. You've prioritized, you've scheduled it, but then you've forgotten it perhaps. And then not knowing what to do. Like, gosh, I don't know what to do for my self-care. Well, those are some easy solutions that we can come up with. And I hope I can share a few things with you all in our limited time, our small time today, because I could talk for days on this. So I have put together 10 self-care tips made simple, which is something that I talk to people all about, which is some foundational things that we all need. However, I'm going to introduce a little holiday twist. If anyone's heard this before, that I'd love to talk about my tips for people. So and we know this, if we're not going to build our foundation on a rock, then the house sinks into the sand, right? And we don't want that either. So some of the things that I love to share with people are, first of all, what is life but to take our first breath, right? So centering ourselves, right? Center ourselves and take that breath. Now it's very hard. It's very easy. It's not hard. It's easy in this time to get thrown off, right? To get thrown off from doing maybe our meditation, for example, getting thrown off in our timing of taking that breath. So first thing we do when we step into this world is we breathe, and it's the last thing that we do before we leave is we breath. And then our love and greatness is in between. So breath is so foundational and important. Taking the time to take a moment and step back and just remember. What does that mean? It means to come back and member back, right? Come back, and that's about the heart. Coming back together and remembering our moment to breathe. Because in the moment when we're sad, mad, scared, stressed out of whatever's going on in the holidays, whether it's because you can't see your family and you really long to see them and be with them, because we've been at the timing of this recording, and our time live together, we've been in a pandemic for, it's soon going on 3 years, right? So, so breath, right? Not being able to maybe be with our...
Laura?
Yes.
This slide has me breathing properly. I'd like to take a minute, and if you could get everybody a moment to breathe the way they need to breathe.
That's wonderful, because I've got that right in here. Thank you so much. So that's the thing that we need to do. So if we are not able to be with our family, if we're stressed out about finances, if we can't, we're having a hard time with the kids or whatever's going on, I want to invite you all to take a moment right now in this space, and let's just breathe together. So just go ahead. I invite you all to just close your eyes. And this does not need to be fancy, because our foundational, fundamental life is all about our breath, and it doesn't need to be fancy. Just go ahead and close your eyes. And then feel the space in your belly. Because often we just breathe from our shoulders and our chest. So go ahead and just drop and feel that breath dropping into your belly. And just feel that expansiveness in your belly. And I'd like to invite you to just breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath just for a moment. And then breathe out through your nose again. And just breathe in again through your nose when you're ready. Hold your breath slightly at the top of your inhalation. And then just go ahead and exhale. Traditionally, we like to exhale longer than our breath in. It helps recenter ourselves, and for physiology, it also helps to exhale and get our carbon dioxide out and get our oxygen in, and which balances our brain. So that's really important just from a scientific point of view. And maybe just one more breath, just breathe in. Hold your breath at the top and then exhale out longer than your breath in. Nothing fancy. And just to center. And in this moment of centering, I'd like for you to acknowledge all the things that at this end of this year, this long year, maybe this trying year for you. I'd like for you to right now in this moment, place all those things into your heart. Place all the love and the kindness and the goodness, all of the things that you did throughout the year to help yourself and to help others. Every moment of love that you gave yourself and others, place that into your heart right now. And let's let that be our fuel to move ourselves into a great year in 2022. And let's bless that. Let's wrap that with the Christmas gift, the Hanukkah gift of that beautiful bow of the gift of your own self-love and self-care, a commitment to yourself for your own love and self-care. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So then stepping forward, and these are just basics. Water, especially if we're living in the northern hemispheres or with the winter time, it's easy to forget water. Water is actually in Chinese medicine, so we know that Wendy practices feng shui as well, right? We know that water is actually, we're made up of over 65% water, more than that. Water is foundational and basic, and especially in the wintertime, we forget to take this in. Especially during the holidays, we may grab for alcohol instead, which is actually dehydrating, which will help us lose water. So please remember to focus on drinking water, even though it's cold, because in the wintertime, we turn up the heat and that dehydrates us too. So if we're not cleansing our cells constantly, we can't replenish and we can't reconnect for our body to help focus and center our bodies, and to help allowing that to cleanse through with our breath and then water on top of that. So we're going to kind of build the house, build the layer of the cake. Kidneys also are in the wintertime. We're in kidney season. We're moving into kidney season for water. The emotion of kidney in Chinese medicine is fear. And what's the opposite of fear? Love, right? The opposite of fear is love. So again, back to the self-care is self-love. And is the new is our revolutionary healthcare now, right? I think like Bridget was saying, that's great. Sleep. Who loves sleep? Right? Yeah. And there's Nicole again. I can see you nodding your head there, Nicole. So sleep is super important. And we forget this, especially as, depending on what part of the world you're living in, we have, it's darker, right? It's darker. And so what happens is it shifts our circadian rhythm, our natural rhythm for us. So it gets shifted. If we're not sleeping properly, that's going to contribute to early aging, heart disease, weight gain, dementia, poor immunity, and then it's going to throw everything off. So again, making sure that we're sleeping well. Sleep is one of the greatest gifts that we can give to ourselves. And I myself am guilty of that sometimes, because who is always working really hard to take care of other people to the point that we forget our own self-care and we forget to be able to get to sleep on a good, timely fashion. By the way, 9 to 11 p.m. is about the golden time to be getting to sleep so that we can sleep well in terms of circadian rhythms for our body, so that we can maximize good brain health and good health throughout our whole entire body. So that is really important. Nutrition, another big tip when it comes to helping ourselves through the holidays, right? Remembering to maybe choose our colorful foods, right? Our colorful foods have all the vitamins and nutrients that we need, right? Those are huge in antioxidants, which can help counteract against whatever alcohol or sugar that we might be taking in during the holidays, right? Or any other things. So we still need to remember our beautiful green leafy vegetables. We still need to be able to, back with sleep, just to tag on that for a second, we still want to be able to remember to not be eating the last 3 hours before we go to sleep, which is a little tricky if we're going to those late parties, right? But just to really be mindful about that, to still be able to maintain that integrity for ourselves, and our routine and our rhythm is super important. So again, nutrition. Let's be mindful about our seasonal eating. If we have any kind of medical conditions, we want to be mindful that we're not inflaming any inflammatory conditions. And by the way, any chronic condition is an inflammatory condition. We don't want to be adding fire to the frying pan, especially over the holidays. So whereby we start the new year on the wrong foot instead of the right foot, right? So immunity, we want to be mindful about our immunity, avoiding sugars and refined foods, carbohydrates, like gluten, for example. If you're sensitive to gluten, it's really hard during the holidays. If we have traditional foods, right? So maybe finding alternatives, finding those alternative ways to cook our traditional meals would be a fabulous way, if need be, right? Of course, there's nothing as good as our traditional home cooked stuff, but if we need to, if we have to be mindful for our health, it's something just to be mindful of for ourselves, right? And then loading up on all of the good things like our omega fatty acids, right? Omega-3s. We know avocados are really good and salmon's really good, things like this. We know what to avoid and stay away from. And what we need to fill ourselves with is, again, like they say, the Mediterranean diet is one of the best diets out there in general, right? Where you can have a good balance of things. There's lots of different diets. I won't get into that specifically here, but just remember to choose good nutrition, right? Because it's so easy to like reach for, you know, the ice cream late at night. And we want to maybe reach for something else, or maybe not even reach for that in the evening time, right? And then movement can be hard during this time as well too, right? People are working really hard. It's colder out for most people if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. So being able to still get that movement, even if it's mindful internal movement, like with any yoga or meditation, even though there's stillness, our cells are still being flooded by the memory, the motion memory, because our cells hold memory for motion. And our body holds that memory. So even if we don't get a chance to, this is how Olympic champions are made, right? They can actually visualize the whole entire ski run in their head and still go through that muscle memory or go through that motion so that they can build that muscle, right? That movement muscle. So again, allowing yourself to, even if you're inside, to still do those motions, still go through your motions, right? Movement is really important. Of course, they say sitting is the new smoking. And what are we doing in front of our cameras, right? Sitting every day. So the other thing that you can do is, if you do need to be on Zooming with people all the time, stand up, move around, right? Every 20 minutes, look off into the distance. Look off into the distance for your eye health, right? They say 20, 20, 20. Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. If you want to help your eye health, right? So there's little tips that we can do like that as well. There's also, we know there's lots of different tech things that we can do to also help track things for ourselves, track our cycles, track our rhythms, right? But again, moving into movement and allowing that movement into our body to also reconnect, if you can do that out in nature, is even better, right? It's even better to be able to connect and move into nature. And it doesn't have to be fancy. Walking and swimming are some of the most basic exercises that we can do. But again, just move, dancing, whatever it is, just move your body, move it in the best way that you need to move for yourself. Connecting to our social tribe, which we're doing right now, right? In this fabulous tribe that we're in right now, is one of the most important things that we can do. And if we can't even get together with people, at least even connecting through our media and through technology. Why? Because it fills our heart, right? They say that loneliness is more damaging than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And so just remember that connection and that tribe, which is why it's so beautiful that we're together in this tribe right now, in your Find Your Fire tribe, which is also on fire, right? Which is also the energy of the heart, is the fire. Right? And Chinese medicine as well, too, just to bring up the Chinese medicine perspective. So really focusing on that, finding your tribe, living that lifestyle, finding your pillars, honoring your elders as well, and bringing that wisdom in from your elders, especially during this time of the year, where we get a chance to reflect, right? So wintertime, December is about reflection, reflecting on that time with people, and bringing that into our consciousness and remembering those memories and those stories and those traditions, right? Finding the love and joy and meaning and purpose in those is really important at this time of year. Resources, it's also a time of year where mental illness and mental health is really at the forefront. Again, because of the darkness, about people who may be lonely, not being able to connect with people. So having resources that you can go to get the guidance and the support that you need, depending on where in your state or your province or country that you're in. Again, very important. And that also comes from those connections with your tribe, right? You may be able to find out in your tribes different resources that you can use that can help you at that time and in this time of the year, especially. And then about meaning and purpose. Again, this time of the year in again, holiday and transition as we move from one year into the next is about a time to reflect. People start saying, oh, I'm going to do like my New Year's resolution. Well, instead of maybe doing a resolution, why not a revolution? Why not sit with yourself in that moment, in that space, in meditation, in breath, and focus on what your meaning and purpose is while we come together in this time of darkness before we enter into the light, right, of like springtime, just in terms of the flow of energy and seasons. Is that really get a chance to like re-anchor ourselves, right? We get a chance to re-anchor and find that meaning and purpose, and it gets to start to brew, really start to brew. And then we get to move that into the energy of springtime. So we're moving through a very transformational energetic time right now as we're moving through. So finding that meaning and our purpose, also in terms of our tribe, in terms of our traditions and our holiday, is find meaning in that holiday. Those traditions are really important. They're there for a reason, and they anchor into some of our most basic fundamental parts of our essence. And so a lot of time people love to go home for the holidays. There's a reason for that. There's that connection to the heart again. So, and a lot of people find that, oh my goodness, like, I've got to leave that job. That's not the job that I want. I've come home and I've reconnected and I've refound my meaning and purpose. So this could be a very powerful transformational time for people as well. And then paying it forward, helping people and paying it forward. Like they say, it's better to give than to receive. But when we give, we can't give what we don't have again. So just putting that out there, helping people who are perhaps less fortunate than we are, but also we learn and grow. We learn and grow from doing that all the time. So again, another beautiful time for charitable donation, but also throughout the whole year, but especially at this time, to be connecting, especially to our heart, and connect our heart to another person's heart. It's just fundamental. Faith, spiritual practice, again, especially this time of the year, welcoming the joy and the divine joy that comes into our space, and like they say, Christmas is every year, right? Or Christmas is every day of the year, or whatever your faith happens to be, that's every day of the year. It's not just one time. We get to bring it together, and this is a very sacred, powerful time of tradition and love and joy and peace on earth. And there's that kind of stillness that happens at this time of the year, but being able to carry that forward into next year instead of the busyness of next year, let's maybe try to aim for that. Let's try to aim for bringing that joy and peace into next year and allowing it to flow through the whole year ahead of us. And then usually I have a moment for breakout and connection and commitment. And I have something at the end I'll share with you in a moment. But just to recap, finding our breath, using our breath work, remembering our breath, especially when we get overwhelmed, when things are difficult or trying, especially if we've had a hard year ahead, or especially in those moments of the holidays, if we have to be together with people that we have, it might be difficult for us, for example. Water, bathing our cells, because our cells are mostly water. We need to bathe ourselves all the time. Let's not forget that and get dehydrated, because that's going to affect our mind as well. And then sleep, we need it. It is one of the biggest physical, mental, emotional gifts to us is to sleep well. You can go without food for days, but if you go without sleep for days, that's like torture. Plus, our body can't heal and grow. And we can't make the proper hormones that we need for proper brain health, for proper health in our body as well. Movement, keep things moving all the time, right? So even if it's small movements, even small little movements a day, as we know, progress is better than stagnation, better than staying still. And then our social tribe and connection, bringing those resources together, finding that meaning and purpose, and maybe finding a new meaning and purpose. Maybe it's time for you to find a new meaning and purpose this year ahead, right? And for me, it's all about 2020 you. So I want to, place that, invite that into your heart to think about 2020 you. It's all about you for this year. And that flows right into pay it forward, right? Keep on giving forward what you can. You might not be able to give back, but you can certainly always pay forward because that's what's coming ahead. And then do everything with faith, hope, and love. It's the foundation of who we are. And then this is something that really helped for me, and I want to share it with you as well. Stop the struggle, claim your self-care, love yourself first, right? Love yourself first, because it's self-love is what it's all about. So claim your self-care. What I did for myself is I wrote out this: I declare and promise to myself to commit to regular and scheduled self-care as an act of self-love because I deserve it, so I can become my best me, live my purpose, and bless other people. So I invite you all as well too, as you're coming into this year, finishing this year and going into the next year, to take a moment, to take a breath, commit to your self-care, pick something for yourself that really is special for you, and write a new commitment for yourself coming into the year ahead. So claim it, commit to it, find meaning, declare it for yourself, take action with any of these 10 self-care tips or any of your own that come out from that, out of your own heart and desire, and then buddy up. Life is not the same if you don't have a buddy, if you don't have a friend. So bring that together. Again, that's about the connection that's really important. And then just finally, thank you for celebrating you with me. When you choose joy, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, it reminds of others for that joy and what that feels like. And maybe, just maybe, it might just inspire them to do the same. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today.
Laura,
any questions?
that was wonderful. And while people are thinking of their questions, I want to share a couple of things. One was that I realized that we were going to run over time, and I asked the people in the chat, is it all right if we go over time? And most people went, yes, it's such good stuff. We want to stay. We don't want to go. So that's just a measure of how engaged everybody was. There was something from Randall about his experience with sleep. I don't know if Randall, you wanted to share that.
Please, Randall, if you'd like to share. Oh, you're muted, dear. You're muted, dear.
I know I am. I'm muted 2 different places. I'm too tired to figure it out. Yeah, I usually am pretty good about sleep, but no, this isn't a big thing. I just ended up working till about 2 a.m. yesterday, got to sleep about 3. And then lovely, while you were talking, got a message from my client saying, oh, we've decided to delay until tomorrow. So I could have slept. So sometimes other people things on you. So I guess I'm going to have to try and find nap time this afternoon and catch up.
Yeah, please do. Like Einstein took naps, right? Einstein took naps. So nap and find it. The thing with sleep is that you want to be able to re-get your sleep back within at least 24 hours to try to get yourself back on track. Because if you don't, it really throws us off. And because it's tapped into cycles, it's tapped in circadian rhythm, which is tapped into hormones, which kind of run the show, right? All of our neurotransmitters and hormones, and it's all connected. It's really, really, really crucially important to get enough sleep. It's one of the best gifts that you can do for yourself. In fact, what I do is for the new year, I don't wait until midnight, because there's New Year's somewhere in the world somewhere, right? So we usually go, that's true, right? So it depends that we're all one big family. We're all humans on this earth. So what I do is I have my own tradition with my own family long before midnight. So the kids and I can get in bed on time and start the new year off on the right foot, usually going for a really nice walk together, no matter what the weather is. I started that with my father years ago, and I carry on that tradition during the holiday. So thank you, Randall, for sharing that. Really important. And I'm wishing you a very good, lovely sleep tonight.
I would like to add something. This in the chat, people are saying, thanks, Laura. It's been really wonderful. I loved what I got to hear. Yeah, thank you. Just so you know, and a couple of people asking about the replay already. So yay. Now I have something I wanted to share about sleep, if it's all right.
Please.
Some of you know that people who know me in the group know that in my previous career, I was an airline pilot. And I retired early. Why did I retire early from a career that I loved doing? Because I was doing night flight. And 4 nights a week, my sleep was disturbed. And I was always trying to catch up. And day sleep for me is not the same as night sleep. And as a result, after 3 months, I would get sick. Any bug that came by, I would get it and I'd be down for 3 weeks. And then I'd get up again because I loved flying. And I would find that again, I would catch anything that passed by. You just had to look at me hard and I'd get a flu. So I retired early from a career that I really loved because of the impact on my circadian rhythms. It took me a year to restabilize. And now one of the biggest, loveliest joys of my life is to sleep. Thank you.
Yay! I'm celebrating you, Wendy. That's fantastic. I know this because my uncle was a firefighter for 35 years and it actually took him 10 years.
Oh my God.
Because he had done that job for so long, right? And his daughter, my cousin, is also an ICU nurse. So I truly know what it's like when you cannot sleep. It just messes everything up. So I'm so glad that you're a sleep superstar.
Now I am. And I know Christine has something to share with us about water. So Christine, why don't you hit it?
Please,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, hi, Laura. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so in my group, we have been at it with a water challenge since the 2nd of December because water is so critical to the body. As you said earlier, Laura, we're made up of over 65% water, and that is a parallel to what the earth is made up of. We're not separate, ourselves and the earth. And so, yeah, we've just been doing that, and we've been tracking our water intake. And in January, we're going to be talking about water a little bit more because we would have ended on the 31st. And we kick off with another team member who's a functional medicine practitioner to talk a little bit more about the importance of water. And oh yeah, and this is the book that I follow in terms of, oops, can you see it?
Move back a tiny bit. Move back a bit. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so it's called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. And this is an excellent book. And so for anyone who wants to really take a deeper dive into how water helps to not just clean us out, but it helps sustain us. And I mean, from brain to gut to everything. That's a great book. So thank you for all you shared today. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you for sharing. That is such valuable information that you just shared too, Christine. I'm so grateful to that. Like they say, if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
That's right.
You're already dehydrated.
I believe Christine drinks like 78 ounces of water a day.
Yeah, I do 78, 80 because, you know, it's a standard. You know this, Laura, it's a standard. Your weight divided by 2 ounces.
That's right. Which means that it's not all the same intake for everyone. And it also depends slightly on if you've got medical conditions, what's going on, right? We are not a one box fits all. We're not a one size fits all humans, right? But there's always a great place to start and begin.
Yes.
And to go from there. But always we have our own identifiable, unique healthcare needs. So thank you. That is lovely. What a lovely share. I love that, Shay. Thank you.
Now, does anybody else have any questions for Laura, or shall we get on to Bridget does. Go ahead, Bridget.
So again, with the water, I've been studying water for a while, and it's so important for our bodies. But how much water, what I've learned is a minimum if you put your body weight in pounds, I know that there's international people, but for pounds, it's supposed to be minimum half your body weight up to your body weight. So even drinking my body weight in ounces, it's a lot, but I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. So I think
it does.
have you heard anything different? I mean, is it really half your body weight, or is it really your body weight in ounces?
That's actually a really great question. It's really important. And you'll see, for example, when I've worked with cancer patients, we're drinking a lot of water. So if you already, for example, I mean, this is just an example, right? So if I've took cancer as like this way out there kind of thing, but we have to remember this too, is that most people are going to have either heart disease or cancer in their lifetime. Okay. So it's a reality. That we don't have to have that, but most people will have that because it's a statistic. And what we find is that being able to flush your body now, right? Flush out constantly, because the cells are regenerating. You're helping the process of where the cells learn to die off properly so that we can get new regeneration. And if you don't have that, you have a disruption of the whole entire process, and then we cannot heal. And then you start into this cycle where now you've got inflammation, right? And now you've got this condition and that condition. So actually being able to start at half your body weight and go up is actually a really good place to go. Like they say with vitamin C, this is just jumping ahead, but they say go to tolerance until you have like, just kind of really loose bowels, and then back off just a tiny bit. So that's a good place to start with people, is like go to like tolerance, but the more you flush, the better it is. It's like exercise. You go the first day, oh my gosh, it's really hard on my body. But then you go the next day a little bit, and the next day a little bit, right? And the next day a little bit. So build up, like everything in life, baby steps until you build up, until you've got that good healthy muscle, right? That's great shares, everyone. I just love all your comments. Thank you. This is fantastic.
I'm going to have to keep the chat text and frame it, because there's so much good stuff in the chat as well. Does anybody else have a question for Laura?
I do.
Okay, Jennifer, go for it.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Jen.
You're doing so great. How much vitamin C is a good amount? I try to take 2,000 milligrams. There was this guy back in the 70s, and he was really big into vitamin C. And he said, if you have too much, it'll just kind of flush out of you. I didn't realize it comes out both ends. Sorry about that, but that's new info to me. We all have bodies here.
We all do. Yeah.
So how much is the right amount? And what kind of vitamins should we be supplementing with? Like, what is a standard, normal, minimum vitamins?
So these are all really great questions. The first question I'll take about vitamin C is that what we say is to go to your tolerance, okay? Vitamin C to tolerance, ascorbic acid to tolerance, which is when your stool starts getting watery. So if you start getting the runs, you're at your max. Now that could be different than someone else, right? So a child will be different than an adult. A small, tiny little framed person will be different than a larger framed, more muscular person. So we go to, and it's all dependent on your gut too, right? And we don't want to get to the point that we're getting the runs, because why? Because we know that the microbiome is really important. It has like over 400 species of good bacteria in your gut. We need that there to help our immune system, right? Because immunity starts in our gut. So we don't want to flush out our whole entire gut, right? So you go to tolerance, and then you back up just a little. Go to the point where you get the runs, you back up a little, and that's a good starting place. That's a good place to kind of be in for your vitamin C level. So again, everyone's different. That's what I would say to start for that. And then in terms of vitamins, everything and everyone is different. There's lots of different kinds of vitamins. I don't have enough time to get into it here either. But in general, you don't need too many different kinds. You just need the right balance of them, is my biggest point that I'd like to make. I'm a person of foods first, supplements second. I know that there's lots of different people that kind of push lots of supplements and push lots of nutraceuticals and push a lot of things. That's not me. For me, the most important thing is to have the basics first. If you can master the basics, the other things are just like adjunct and can be advantageous. And certainly we don't get enough vitamins and minerals in our soil right now. So our foods aren't as good as they have been in past like centuries, I suppose is a better way to say it. So it's important to supplement, especially with trace minerals that you may not be getting enough of, but start with just your basics. And then you can build up and go from there. So I'm a big advocate of start small, start basic, and then build up slowly.
Thank you so much.
And
Laura.
antioxidants is a really good place to start in terms of, if you have to, vitamins and minerals, right? Antioxidants is a really great place to start.
You can't probably cover it all right now, but could you put a list of maybe your top 10 that people should sort of consider? Because I go to the drugstore and I see all these supplements and I think, oh my gosh, my dad said, you got to take CoQ10 every day. You got to take fish
May I
oil.
make a suggestion, Jennifer, Laura? Perhaps, Laura, if you could give us that list in the tribe, that would be wonderful.
That's what I was thinking, to save
Yeah.
the time now.
Happy to do that.
Thank you.
I also have something that I'm doing tomorrow that may help address some of those questions.
Well, in fact, I was going to say this is a good time to lead into that, Laura. So why don't you share with them, share with our group and the people who are watching on Facebook, what you're offering next, because it follows really beautifully from today, Jennifer. And perhaps I'll see you there too.
Yes, it's actually been, it's very nice. And thank you to everyone for all those amazing shares. I love chatting more with everyone because I really think that's where the magic happens. That's the connection, right? That we get a chance to connect with each other. We all get to learn and grow. And that's the most special part for me. So if you want to continue the journey, some of the upcoming things I have going on, tomorrow I'm doing what's called Immune Proof, Holiday Proof Your Immunity, your immune system for optimal health. And that will be a workshop and a challenge. It's an option for the challenge, but definitely the workshop. So I don't want to challenge anyone over the holiday if you don't want the challenge, but it's your own choice. But come for the goodness, come for the knowledge, and come for the fun, because I'm going to have some fun and games and prizes. It's going to be very holiday festive. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm
How long,
also,
Laura? How long is the session, the workshop?
it's about a 2-hour session.
Okay.
It's really quick because I know we don't have too much time in the holidays, but that's my kind of prequel to what I'm doing all year long, which is Bulletproof. It's my master series. It's Master Your Immunity for Maximum Health. It's going to be running all year long, whereby I'm going to be having 4 different workshops throughout the seasons, with adjunct for seasonal bonuses. I'm going to be doing monthly check-ins with everyone. I've got an immunity community tribe. So it's something throughout the entire year, because our immunity goes up and down, ebb and flow throughout the whole entire year. And there's different things to be mindful of depending on what season you're in. So that's something I'm going to be running as well. Plus, a lot of people know that I have my Brain Boss session going right now. And I see some of my lovely people here in the audience, like Dr. Rashmi there as well. She's featured on that, and so is Randall. He's featured on there as well, Brain Boss. So, and I can't see everyone's faces right now, but we do have those 2 lovely, beautiful experts who are on Brain Boss as well. If you want maximum health to show your brain who's boss, there's Brain Boss as well. And of course, you can get a hold of me anytime at drlauratiberio@gmail.com, on Facebook, on just my name, or through Purpose Through Wellness as well.
And
So,
she's also in the tribe, so you can reach her there as well.
I'm in this amazing, beautiful tribe. It's like been my honor, privilege to be here today, Wendy, and thank you to Christine as well.
Laura, could you do me a favor? Could you come out of the share so we can see everybody else a little bigger? Yeah. Okay, I like to say goodbye in person. So go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's just an absolute honor and privilege to be here. I got to look at the camera, and so I'm trying to look at your faces, but I'll have to look at the cameras to say thank you so much. It's just Wendy, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being the last of this year of 2021. I hope no matter where your journey has taken you, and no matter how hard things have been, I hope to goodness gracious and blessings upon you and your family. I wish you all the best, to have a beautiful, lovely holiday. You all deserve it. We all deserve love and greatness. And I'm going to be showering you with love and prayers. You know it. You know it. So all the best to all of you. God bless you. Peace be with you. And thank you, Wendy. Namaste. And thank you, everyone.
I want to say goodbye and thank you to everyone as well. There's this huge, big heart with you in the middle of it. Many blessings. Thank you all for coming. It was a wonderful session, Laura. You were amazing. Thank you.